Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of nothing new. I went through my makeup collection and I selected some makeup products that I have not used in a while here on my channel. I've been meaning to order some of these Paw makeup sponges. And so that is what I did. So I am going to be testing this out today. So this is new to me. I went ahead and did my sunscreen before I started filming, and I just used this Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I haven't used this primer in a while here on my channel. I think I bought this around this time last year. Like I bought some new Essence products, but this is the Essence Poreless Partner Primer, and it says that it's mattifying and blurring. I don't necessarily find this to be mattifying, but it does help to blur out the pores and it feels really moisturizing. So it's kind of just like a pink sort of primer there. So I'm just gonna put this all over my face. Oh my gosh, my hands are so cold. It's so cold in here this morning, and it's above freezing because it's not snowing out, but this weekend we are getting so much rain. So hopefully our basement doesn't flood. Sometimes it has a tendency to flood when we get too much rain. And then I'm going to moisturize my lips, and I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss. I think this is in Straw Booty. Yeah, my Straw Booty. Like I said, I was looking through my makeup collection and I was trying to figure out like what is a foundation I haven't used in a minute, especially on camera, and the Revlon Luminance Serum Tint. Like I have not used this in a while. I have shade 117. The reason why I haven't used this is not because I don't like it, but because this shade in 117 is kind of light. Just gonna go ahead and put some like here on my nose. I don't know, just so I can make sure I have enough coverage there on my nose. I don't know, it's just the way that I go about it. So let's just use the Paw sponge. So, I mean, it works just like, you know, my Wet n Wild makeup sponge. It feels about the same like denseness and bounciness as that sponge. This sponge might be slightly a little bit bigger than my Wet n Wild makeup sponge. And it doesn't have like the flat edge like the Wet n Wild sponge does. It just comes to a point. Sometimes in the summer this can be a little bit too much for me, but right now in the winter I have been gravitating towards more illuminating foundations just because my skin gets more normal during the winter months, and I wouldn't say that it gets dry, but sometimes if I wear foundations that are a little too matte, I just feel like my skin looks dull in the winter. So yeah, just a really nice natural dewy finish. Okay, for concealer, I pulled out this Natasha Denona High Glam concealer. It's been a long time since I have used this. The shade that I have in this is N2. I feel like I have a little bit of a headache today, and I probably should have taken some headache medicine before I started filming this video. But yeah, this concealer has really high coverage and it's also really illuminating. So if you don't set it, at least for me, sometimes it can settle into like my fine lines. So I definitely will be setting this with a powder today. So just put some in the inner corner there. Like sometimes I'll even use my finger to kind of tap it out. But I do like the dewiness on this concealer. And then I'm going to take just the tiniest amount of this down my nose here just to add a little bit more coverage. And like I do have a little bit of like a blemish peeking through there, so I might just use a little bit of the concealer to conceal that. Thank you guys so much for recommending these to me. Like, you can already tell that that is going to be a new favorite makeup sponge. So for the powder, I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable in Soft Ivory, I think. Yeah, in one Soft Ivory. It has been so long since I have used this powder, and this used to be like my daily powder that I would use all the time, but ever since I bought the Rimmel Stay Matte, that's been kind of my go-to daily powder. But I will say that this L'Oreal True Match does have a little bit more coverage to it than that Rimmel Stay Matte. But I'm just using the e.l.f. flat top brush to apply this powder. And it will kind of tone down that luminous look of the foundation, but throughout the day that does start to kind of shine through for me, that luminosity. And especially if I use like a makeup setting spray, which I probably will, I always do, to set all of my makeup, it will also, you know, tone down the powders and make things look a little bit more dewy. And surprisingly, I've been kind of getting into the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in shade Fair, 05 Fair. And for the longest time, I could not get into this powder. I just felt like it looked too powdery on me or something. And I don't even know what has changed, but I've just been actually really enjoying this setting powder. So I'm just using a little triangle powder poof from Amazon. You can get this in like a set of 6, and I'm just gonna put this in this area of my face just because it will tone down that extra shininess there that I feel like that's highlighting pores, where this kind of just blurs everything out without looking like too powdery. Like maybe I was just using too much of it before. I'm not really sure. It's funny how like sometimes your opinions about certain makeup products change over time. The only thing I do not like about this powder is it is extremely messy. So I wish that Maybelline would kind of improve their packaging on that. Okay, and for my brows today, I'm going to be filling them in with the NYX Micro Brow. This has just been a long time favorite for me. I do want to pick up their, I think it's called Bladen Shade. It's like their new product that's supposed to be even more like thinner and precise. So the shade that I've been using in this Micro Brow has actually been in the shade Black. I know that sounds weird because I normally use like ash brown or something like that, but since my hair is darker, I find that I do need a slightly darker shade, and my brows are actually really cool toned. So I find that black is cool toned and it's actually not too dark. Like it's not like a stark black. It's more of like a black brown, like a cool black brown. Like what brow products have you been loving lately? Like what are some of your favorite go-to brow products? Let us know down in the comments. Then I'm just gonna go back with the spoolie and comb through my brows. And to set everything in place, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is in the shade dark brown or deep brown, I believe. But if I'm not using like a clear brow gel, this is my go-to tinted one. I love this. It's very similar to like the Benefit Gimme Brow. It's like ever since I discovered this e.l.f. one, it's like why would I ever need to go back to the Benefit one? Oops. To prime my eyelids today, I'm going to be using the Hard Candy Moods Shadow Paints. This is in the color Halo. I have really been enjoying this as like an eyeshadow primer that evens out like your eyelids. And this stuff really helps eyeshadow last all day long. Like this product is amazing. So I'm just using a brush to blend that all over my eyelid. And I will let this dry down a little bit before I go in with my eyeshadow. So like as you can see, that does kind of leave a little bit of a tint on the eyelids, and it is like slightly a little bit darker than my skin tone. So, you know, it's already creating some color on the lid. Okay, so I pulled out 2 different eyeshadow palettes and I can't really decide which one I want to use, but I pulled out the Rimmel Crimson Edition. Like I have not used this palette in so long. And then I also pulled the Nudes of New York. Like I know that this color would go well with like my shirt today, but I don't know, like what should we do? Should we do something like fun, a little bit colorful, but not too crazy. Like, I'll probably do something like a little bit more wearable with this if I do use this palette. And it's like, maybe I could kind of use a combination of shadows between these two palettes. I think I might do that just because this doesn't have like a ton of mid-tone transition shades in it. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline's of New York palette, and I'm gonna first use this shade in Explorer in my crease, but I'm just gonna slowly build that shade up here in sort of like the outer V and crease. I'm gonna use this shade in Voyager, and I'm just gonna lightly blend this in the outer V. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the weather today or what, but I'm kind of not really feeling my best. I know so many people have been sick lately, and Josh wasn't feeling his best last week, so I don't know. Hopefully I'm not coming down with what he had. Taking a little bit more of that and patting it here on the outer corner of the lids. Going back with the blending brush, nothing added to it, and just blending around the edge there. And on the lid, like I said, I think I'm going to use a few shades out of the Rimmel Crimson palette. And first, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to use this shade, like a mix of this shade and the very first shade. So just kind of make like a custom shade with those two colors. So I'm just packing this color on the Morphe M303 brush. Tap off the excess, and just gonna place that here on the lid, kind of blending that slightly over top of that dark brown. And then I'm gonna go, like I said, over top of that with the lighter color. So I'm just gonna flip the brush over, get some of that shade on the brush. And see, it just kind of creates like a custom color. I really need to use these Rimmel palettes a little bit more. I remember that I used to use these a ton, and I have a few videos on my channel where I've done like 3 looks 1 palette featuring these Rimmel palettes. I'm just gonna go back with Explorer that I used in the crease and just slightly smudge this. Just using this Sigma Pencil E30. And then I'm going to take a bit more of Voyager, which is the dark brown. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it right out here. And then I'm going to take an angled brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M401. And I'm getting some more of Voyager on the edge of this brush, and I'm just going to use that right out here just to kind of darken out this last kind of third of the eyelid, just to like raise that corner of my eye up a little bit. Make my lashes look a little bit thicker out there. Just been enjoying using a shadow to just make my lashes look a little bit thicker out here in this outer corner area. Okay, and then I'm going to take just a little bit more of that shimmery shade, that light shimmery color, and I'm going to just put that in the inner corner of the eye. And I might just take whatever's left on the brush and just kind of lightly place it there underneath the brow just to kind of highlight a little bit. So that's the eyes done. Really pretty, except for like the mascara, and I'll do that after I do the setting spray. So I've actually fell back in love with this, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. And I don't know that I was ever super in love with it before. Like, it's been so strange for me, but lately I've been enjoying these cream liquid bronzers and blushes, which normally I don't prefer those like over powder, but I've actually been really liking these. This is in the shade light medium, and I put some here on the back of my hand first. I don't really like to dot cream products directly on my face just because I find that I don't really have a lot of control, and I like to have a little bit more control when applying the products. But I'm just using this Morphe brush. This is the M162, and I'm getting stuff all over this. It's a hot mess. But yeah, if you have a hard time with like cream products, I would suggest not dotting them on your face and to put them on the back of your hand and then dip your brush in the products before putting it, you know, on your face, just because sometimes just dotting it on your face, you don't have as much control. Sometimes you might accidentally put too much on your face and then it's like hard to go backwards. So that is my recommendation with these types of products. And then I just take like a washcloth. This is just a dry washcloth, and I just wipe off like if I have any excess off the back of my hands. You could also use like a makeup remover wipe to do that as well. Okay, for blush, I haven't used this in a long time. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Blush. This is in Rose You Slay. So I want to see how I feel about this. And this blush is a really pretty like peachy rose. And it does have a shimmer or sheen in the product. Like it looks really like shiny there on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to use a blush brush, just dip it in there, and I kind of just pat it around my hand just so it's not too concentrated on any one area of the brush. And then I'm just going to lightly apply that to the cheeks. Like from what I remember with this blush, it wasn't too overly like pigmented, but like as you can see, like it does have a glow to it, so you could totally skip a highlight with this type of blush. It's actually pretty. I've totally forgot about this. And I'm just going to go back with my makeup sponge, kind of tone it down just a little bit. You know, if your blush ever gets too out of control, you can always go back with like your makeup sponge to tap it out. And then to set everything, I'm just going to use the Milani Make It Last Makeup Setting Spray. So I went ahead and did my mascara off camera because I just use like my normal mascara that I use all the time, the Maybelline Lash Sensational. Love this mascara. It's just foolproof. And for the lips, I wanted to use something that I haven't used in a while, but it's just easy throw on since I'm just going to be chilling at home today. And this is the Nivea Blackberry Lip Care. And I love this product. It's just a nice tinted lip balm that's just easy to throw in your purse and reapply throughout the day. So, and Nivea has a bunch of different colors in these. I might actually top it with a little bit of this lip gloss that I used at the very beginning, this CoverGirl Yummy, Fresh Yummy gloss in Straw Booty. If you guys enjoy Full Face of Nothing New videos, please give this video a thumbs up so I know to continue to film these in the future. I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye-bye.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.